we got you covered. And Merle Eldridge, Director in Donor Recruitment and Mobile Collections, Mississippi Blood Service. And Merle is here with us. Good morning, ma'am. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing fine. How did you wind up with the name Merle?
It's a very family name. I'm sure you can guess that.
Yeah. It is. It definitely is. Okay, as Director of Donor Recruitment and Mobile Collections, how do we stand here on, is today World Blood Day, Donor Day?
Yes, actually.
Why don't we get just one day on this one? We ought to have Blood Donor Month.
We need 365 days of blood donor days. Yes, we do. Today is June 14th, which is World Blood Donor Day, and it actually is the birthday of the person who discovered the ABO groups. And so we celebrate this every year, and we hope that it gives people just another reason to roll up their sleeves and give the gift of life.
Do you communicate with other states' blood services, too? I mean, how do we compare? Because we're giving people in the state of Mississippi, and I know whenever we mention this, and we have the clarion call that goes out and said, the red flags are flying, we need it, and we need it now. We got a lot of people in the state roll up their sleeves, and I don't know how we compare with other states, but it's got to be pretty good.
Mississippi does fairly well. The sad news is that we're still unable to fulfill hospital needs, and it's not just a Mississippi problem, it's a national problem.
Yeah.
In the past, we actually could go to our partners across the country with Blood Centers of America, and when we couldn't collect the product we need, we could work with those centers to get what we needed for the patients and their treatments. Unfortunately, because of this national shortage, there's no blood anywhere in the country, and so pretty much every state is having to hold their own. And right now, we're only collecting about 80% of what we need
on a regular basis.
On a regular basis.
How does that change in some form or fashion during the summertime?
Summer is always really hard for us. I think, we've talked about it a lot, and we put this out on our social medias, that a lot of our blood comes from our high schools and our colleges and a lot of our businesses that allow us to come in the fall and the spring. Come summer, and we're not in those schools, and people are out and about, they're on vacation. The need goes up, but the collections go down. And so summer's always a really hard time for us. And so we try to be creative and come up with all types of things that can get donors in. Right now, we're giving away $1,000 every single month to blood donors. We have incentives on all of our blood drives. We have anywhere from 8 to 10 blood drives every single day somewhere across the state to get people in. But yet we're still struggling to get what we need. So it's really tough. Summer's really tough. And so we're encouraging people that if you have just an hour, just roll up your sleeve and give the gift of life. We need it.
Sounds like you almost need to park one of the trucks on the beach.
Yes, maybe so. Maybe that's how we can get them to come in.
Yes. But it doesn't take that long. I mean, you can be in and out in how long?
From the time you walk in and register with us, you're going to be leaving usually within an hour. And that's coming in, getting checked in and registered, doing your donor history. The phlebotomy part, which a lot of people don't know, is only about 10 to 15 minutes with the needle. And then you're going to enjoy your juice and cookies before you leave, and you're good. And it's about an hour. We actually have a way that you can save time, too. You can visit msblood.com, and you can complete those donor history questions before you get to the center, before you get to the drive, and knock out about 10, 15 minutes.
What has COVID done to the guys, to the collection of blood?
COVID was a brick wall for us, just like it was for everybody. And we had to figure out how to collect differently and looked different. And although blood donation continued to be essential, and we found all the ways to make it as safe as possible for our donors and for our staff, we still saw a decrease in donations, and that was across the country. And we've continued to struggle to get that number back up.
It's not like we can go to Walmart or Target and get some replacement or artificial. I mean, folks, it may be a 3-year-old kid or a 30-year-old lady there from a car accident. And speaking of which, means people travel more in the summertime, so the rate of accidents probably go up a little bit, and that means it needs it even more.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. A lot of people don't realize that blood cannot be made in a lab. And so we're completely dependent on volunteer blood donors to come in. And, the sad truth, Paul, is on a regular basis now we're getting phone calls from parents and from families that are saying, hey, my husband was told that he would have to wait, or my son is being told that he can't get his platelet treatment today because there's just not platelets available, or there's just not blood available. Because what our hospitals are having to do is they're having to hold on to what they can get in the event of emergency, because a car wreck could need anywhere from 50 to 100 units. And so our medical professionals are having to triage the importance of the need for these patients, and that's just not a fair place to be. I can tell you as a mom, I don't ever want to be sitting by a bedside and have a physician tell me that it's not there for my child.
Now, Merle, some people are going to come after me on this one, but it does matter, and I can't believe you're bringing this up, but what does the legalization of marijuana mean as far as blood service is concerned? I know this touches every single aspect, and if you are on a medical condition where you're ingesting some of the edibles or smoking, but you are a good blood donor, have we figured this out yet?
Actually, there is no guidance from the FDA as it relates to that at all. So it would come more down to the reason that the person is using the medical marijuana, the health issue or the health concern. That would be what the decision would be on whether you are a blood donor or not.
So it doesn't have anything to do with the ingesting of the gummy bears or things such as that?
It does not. It does not.
All right. Well, see, now we know.
That's right.
That's good news. That's good news for people who may be, depression or something, whatever it happens to be, toe fungus, whatever's on that list there. So
that's right.
All right. Any coming events that we need to know about?
Well, today, because of today being World Blood Donor Day, at all of our locations and all of our blood drives, every single donor is going to get a really cool blood drop looking water bottle. It's really cool. You have to see it. Visit our Facebook page to see that.
You didn't bring one with you?
I didn't bring one. I'm so sorry. Shame on me. Shame on me.
There you
go. But you can visit msblood.com. You can find every location that we're going to be for the next few weeks, and we're just highly encouraging people to roll up their sleeves to make sure no family hears that blood's not available.
Absolutely. Thank you, ma'am. I appreciate it so very, very much. Congratulations on it, and good luck on it. Merle Eldridge, who's Director of Donor Recruitments and Mobile Collection, Mississippi Blood Services. Merle.